Have you ever tried pulling the plug on a bathtub? You see the water spinning around, faster and faster, then, whoosh. It disappears down the drain. That spinning motion, that pulling force, that's a little bit like what a black hole does. But instead of water, it can pull in stars, planets, gas, light, basically, anything that gets too close. So what is a black hole? Where do they come from? And could we ever see one up close? Let's take a trip into deep space and find out. What is a black hole? A black hole is a part of space where gravity is so strong, nothing can escape. Not even light. That's why it looks black, not because it's empty, but because the light can't bounce back to show us what's inside. You can think of it like a giant invisible trapdoor in space. Once you fall in, the door slams shut behind you. But don't worry, we're safe here on Earth. Black holes aren't flying around space gobbling up everything like Pac-Man. They sit still and quiet, unless something gets too close. Where do black holes come from? The story of a black hole begins with a star. Not a movie star, a real star, like our sun. Stars are like enormous burning balls of gas, shining because they're using up fuel, like a car engine or a big fire in the sky. Small stars, like the sun, have calm endings. They puff out into beautiful clouds called planetary nebulas and leave behind a tiny star called a white dwarf. But massive stars, really big ones, end in a much more dramatic way. They run out of fuel, wobble, and then, boom, explode in a supernova. A supernova is like the grand finale of a fireworks show, except it's one of the loudest, brightest events in the universe. What's left behind is a tiny, dense core. If that core is heavy enough, it collapses under its own gravity into a black hole. That's right, black holes are born when a giant star dies. How powerful is a black hole? Imagine squeezing a whole mountain into a marble. Then imagine that marble being so heavy, it pulls in everything around it, even light. That's how dense black holes are. They're small, but extremely heavy. They have what's called an event horizon, the point of no return. If something crosses the event horizon, it's gone. Not even a beam of light can escape. That's what makes black holes invisible. The gravity is so strong near a black hole that if a person fell in, they'd be stretched into a long, thin spaghetti shape. That sounds silly, but scientists really call it spaghettification. How do we find black holes if we can't see them? Here's the cool part, we've never seen the inside of a black hole. But we know they exist because of the way they affect things around them. If a star orbits nothing in space, but spins as if something huge is pulling it, it might be orbiting a black hole. In 2019, scientists captured the first real image of a black hole. It looked like a glowing orange ring with a dark center. That glowing light was hot gas swirling around the black hole at incredible speeds, just before falling in. This was a huge moment in science, like discovering dinosaurs all over again. Types of black holes. Did you know there are different kinds of black holes? Stellar black holes, formed from dying stars, intermediate black holes, in between big and small supermassive black holes, monsters that sit at the centers of galaxies. Our own galaxy, the Milky Way, has a supermassive black hole at its center called Sagittarius A. It's 4 million times heavier than our Sun. Luckily, it's so far away that we don't feel any pull from it. Black holes and the universe. Some scientists believe that black holes might help us understand how the universe began. Others think black holes might connect to something called a wormhole, a tunnel through space and time that could let you travel to faraway places or even into the past or future. We don't know yet. There's so much more to learn. But one thing's for sure, black holes are some of the most mysterious and amazing things in the universe. Outro. So the next time you look up at the stars, just remember, somewhere out there, in the dark corners of space, a black hole is doing nothing. Just sitting quietly, waiting for its next meal. It's not a monster. It's not a spaceship. It's one of nature's weirdest wonders, and it might help us unlock the biggest secrets of the cosmos. Isn't space awesome? Have you ever seen a vacuum cleaner suck up crumbs from the floor? A black hole is kind of like a space vacuum cleaner, but way more powerful. Instead of sucking up crumbs, it can pull in stars, planets, and even light. Yep, even light can't escape once it gets too close to a black hole. That's why they're completely black, because no light can get out to show us what's inside. But don't worry. Black holes are really far away. There's no black hole anywhere near Earth. So you can relax, your toys, your house, and your cookies are totally safe. But what exactly is a black hole? And how does something like that even form? Let's start with a star. Not the kind you draw with 5 points, but a real star, like our sun. Stars are giant balls of hot gas that shine because they're burning fuel, kind of like a campfire in space. Some stars are small, like cozy little fires. Others are huge, hundreds of times bigger than the sun. These giant stars live for millions of years, shining bright in the sky. But one day, their fuel runs out. And when a big star runs out of fuel, it gets really unstable. It starts to wobble and shake. Then, boom. It explodes in a gigantic blast called a supernova. A supernova is one of the biggest explosions in the whole universe. If you could watch it happen, it would be brighter than all the other stars around it, for a little while, even brighter than an entire galaxy. Now, after the explosion, what's left behind depends on how big the star was. If it was supermassive, it leaves behind something so heavy and dense that it collapses into a black hole. Imagine taking a mountain, or a whole planet, and squishing it into something the size of a marble. That's how dense a black hole is. Super heavy, super small, and super strange. So what makes black holes so powerful? It's all about gravity. Gravity is what keeps your feet on the ground. It's what makes apples fall from trees, and what keeps the moon going around Earth. But black holes have super strong gravity. Their gravity is so powerful that nothing can escape, not even light. If you flew too close, you'd be pulled in, and you'd never come back out. The place around a black hole where no escape is possible is called the event horizon. Think of it like an invisible fence. If you go past it, poof, you're gone forever. What happens if you fall in? Well, scientists think you'd get spaghettified. That's a real word in science, and it means you'd get stretched out super long and thin like a noodle, because the gravity near the black hole pulls harder on your feet than your head. Ouch! But don't worry, no one has ever gotten close enough to be spaghettified. Now, here's a fun fact. Black holes don't actually go around eating everything. They're not like monsters gobbling up space. Things have to get very close to fall in. So most of the time, black holes just sit there, quiet and invisible. So if they're invisible, how do we even know they exist? Smart scientists use special telescopes to watch how stars and space stuff move. Sometimes, they see stars spinning around something they can't see. That invisible something with lots of gravity? It's usually a black hole. In 2019, something amazing happened. For the first time ever, scientists took a picture of a black hole. It looked like a glowing orange donut. The glow came from hot gas swirling around it, just before falling in. That picture was seen all over the world. And guess what? There's a supermassive black hole at the center of our own galaxy, the Milky Way. It's called Sagittarius A, we say it A star, and it's 4 million times heavier than our sun. But don't worry, it's super far away, we're totally safe. Some scientists even think black holes could lead to new universes, or be connected to things like wormholes, where you could travel to faraway places in space, like a shortcut or a sci-fi tunnel. Black holes are still full of mystery. We don't know what's inside them. We don't know where the stuff goes. But every year, scientists discover more. And that's the best part, there's always more to learn. So the next time you look up at the night sky, imagine, somewhere out there, a black hole is floating in space, invisible and powerful, and helping us unlock the secrets of the universe. Pretty awesome for something we can't even see, right?